Imagine the impact of those words on someone who's facing a discrimination or prejudice. Suddenly, labels and limitations fall away. They are seen for who they truly are, a beloved child of God, worthy of love, worthy of belonging. Think about our own community. Think about your community that you belong to and the division that may exist. It is, of course, if you have not heard, it is election year, and the two parties and the media would do everything in its power to divide us. Don't fall for it, because God's love extends to all. Perhaps there are social circles, economic disparities, or even long-standing disagreements that create distance. How can we, as a faith community, share the message of God's love, all-encompassing love in that specific context? How can we embrace and share the light of God's love, a light that shines on all? This light empowers us to bridge differences, to promote understanding, and build a more loving and a just world. For God so loved the world. These words paint a breathtaking picture of God's love. The word world here in John's gospel can have a grand meaning, encompassing all of creation, the vastness of space, the teeming life on earth, and every human being who has ever walked this planet. It is often used, more specifically to describe who might resist or even oppose God. God's love extends even to those who may turn away. Think about the international conflicts raging in our world, the bitter argument that divide families and communities and even churches. This verse assures us that God's love reaches even to those entrenched in conflict. There are no limitations, no prerequisites for this love that comes from God. It is a love that embraces the entire world in all of its complexity. A love as vast as the universe itself. Consider the sunrise. The light spills over every mountain peak and every hidden valley, illuminating every corner of the world. God's love is like that sunrise, reaching everywhere and warming even the coldest of hearts. This compels us to ask ourselves some important questions. Does our love reflect the love of God? Do we welcome those on the margins, those different from ourselves, into our worship life, our community outreach, and even our prayers? Are we a beacon of God's inclusive love? Perhaps you know of someone who feels distant from God's light. Perhaps there is a neighbor that you haven't reached out to, a community struggling to be seen. This passage reminds us that God's love extends to them too. Let us be the light that draws them in, the love that embraces, a living reflection of the boundless love that God has for the world. As we continue our Lenten journey, can we also reflect on the story of the Israelites in the wilderness, as it offers a powerful parallel to our own journey? They grumbled and they complained, despite God's constant provision. Manna from heaven, water from rocks. Nothing satisfied them. Jesus tells this story in this passage to Nicodemus and to us. It is a story that you can read for yourself in the book of Numbers, chapter 21, beginning with verse 4. Because it echoes the darkness within ourselves, the dissatisfaction that can linger even when we're surrounded by God's blessings. We might find ourselves yearning for something more, for something different, failing to appreciate the blessings and the love of God that surrounds us. This story also foreshadows the central message of Christianity, Jesus' crucifixion. John here, the gospel writer, tells us that being lifted up refers not just to Jesus' exaltation, but also to his suffering on the cross. The bronze serpent on a pole becomes a symbol of Jesus lifted high, offering salvation to all. Just as the Israelites looked upon the bronze serpent for healing, we too can turn to the light of Christ on the cross. His sacrifice illuminates the path to forgiveness and to transformation. This Lenten season, may we confront the darkness that is within us all, and may we bring our grumbles, may we bring our anxieties, may we bring our doubts into the open light of Christ's love.